Why, hello there, Rip City. What a game for your Portland Trailblazers as they storm back to grab the 114-110 win over the Atlanta Hawks. Chris Burkhardt here with you. It is the fifth quarter. This show, it's all about you. So come on in. Go over to Twitter, type in Chris J. Burkhardt. You can send your tweets at me there, and we can have a conversation, have some fun. You can also go on to youtube.com, where we're streaming live right now. Type in Rip City Radio 620. The stream will pop up. You can get in the chat where Sam says good win today. Shout out to Sam. Met him a couple weeks ago. He came back in the pregame show today. I'll have a story about him here in a minute. And then, of course, you can grab your telephone. 503-248-0620 is that telephone number. And before we get going, yes, we're on YouTube now, so you know. Sam jumped on with me a few weeks ago because again his dad is just got courage, and so he's like, hey, you want to do an interview with my son? I was like, why not? Let's talk shop. So he came in. Great kid, by the way, but then he didn't tell me he was a published author. Like, what? A published author? You're kidding me, right? No, he wrote this book right here. Look at that. It's so awesome. Mrs. Know-It-All's Awesome Adventures of Alphabetic Alliteration. Look at this. See, YouTube's fancy. QR code right there. You can go buy it. But it's pretty phenomenal. He's a sponsored author. His sister helped illustrate the book, man. And you know what? The world is amazing and full of awesome people, and Sam's one of them. You know who else is an awesome person? Delano Banton. With the game that he had tonight. Holy smokes. Gotta talk about this game because this game was absolutely wild. At one point, the Blazers, they come out of the gates and they just look slow. And you're like, what's going on here? At one point, our insider, Sean Hyken, tweeted out, like, this is not what you expected to see after, 3 days rest. And we talked about it in the pregame, right? All we wanted was the team to look competent and build off of what we saw in those two wins over Minnesota, and then the way they came out, you're like, oh, this is not it. That's not what we meant. but here we are. Thanks. But then all of a sudden, the comeback happened. That third quarter, the team went on a 17-0 run, which was absolutely incredible. And then, of course, Delano Banton came in and did Delano Banton things. We'll hear a little bit more about him later when we go to the coach's corner and hear what Coach Billups had to say following this win. But, man, he's a spark plug. And then Shaedon Sharpe, another stellar performance from him as he continues to put it together. That's 2 games in a row for Shea with 30 or more points. So shout out to the Blazers shooting guard. That's exactly what you want, right? You want him to come up big. That game against Minnesota when he has his career high, you're like, good, maybe this is a building block. And I think it was because tonight he dropped in 32 and looked good doing it. So good on him. I mean, the one that was awesome was he had that step-back three-point shot as the shot clock was expiring. A little bit reminiscent of the bad shot, right? Looked like Damian Lillard stepping back there for a second just on the opposite side. So kudos to him, kudos to everyone. Just a very good performance. And then you look at this game, how it ended late. Yes, the offense was finding ways to get stuff done, but it was a defensive stop late in the game. Toumani Camara helped step in. Shaedon Sharpe gets a steal. Like, it was all the things that Coach Billups has been preaching and talking about, and it was the young guys and the defense just getting it done. So you can't be upset in the least when you look at that and go, finally, they're maybe putting it together. A 3-game win streak? I think Blazer fans will take this one, right? Because it's almost like a little bit of a pinch me. I must be dreaming because I didn't expect this at all. But here we are, and the Blazers, they're putting it together. Now they go on the road, though, and things get a little scary, right? Oklahoma City, 2 games in Houston. They get to rematch with Memphis, the team that destroyed them here just a week ago inside Moda. So it's not as if it's going to be an easy road here, but if they can grab a couple wins on that road, that'll be pretty awesome. Now let's take a look at the box score. While I do that, once again, the telephone number if you want to join, 503-248-0620, or you can join Han and Ozzy and Sam, everyone else, Iron Rod, Jake over there on the YouTube chat. And Ozzy says, W win. Darn right it was. Anyway, looking at the box score, let's start with Atlanta. Jalen Johnson had 25 points. Clint Capella, 8 points. 12 points from Dyson Daniels. He also had 2 steals. 29 points from Trae Young. You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. 5 of 10 from beyond the arc. 8 of 16 overall. Also had 8 assists. Now, that was basically kind of it. Like, there wasn't a ton else from that team. I mean, yeah, a couple other guys scored. Let's see. Keaton Wallace did not score. Garrison Matthews had 6. Like, it's just a little all over the place. But those 3 key guys were going. Trae Young was hard to stop. And of course, let's look at that Trae Young play for a second with Toumani Camara. When Toumani Camara runs into him when Trae was stopping to hit the shot. And the ref says, all Trae did was stop, and Toumani ran into him. Like, by that logic, if anyone's guarding me, I'm just going to stop dead in my tracks and get ran over every time. I feel like that's like, it's kind of like flopping. Like, you force that. I don't like that, forcing that contact like that. That ain't basketball, but he did get rewarded. Now, looking at the Blazers side of things, Toumani Camara just had 3 points, but he had 5 assists, and again, defensively was every bit as good as advertised. 35 minutes to lead all players in minutes played for the Blazers. 9 points from Jeremy Grant on just 4 of 10 shooting, so he didn't get it going, which I know is something that Brendan wanted to see. Donovan Clingan, 22 minutes, 6 points, 8 rebounds, 3 block shots. So not the performance that we saw 2 games ago or a game ago, but it was solid. I think you just need to sub out a little bit, let Rob in there because he matched up a little better. But the star of this one, Shaedon Sharpe, 32 points, 5 assists, 3 steals. Also had 2 rebounds on 11 of 21 shooting, 3 of 8 from beyond the arc, and he's turning into every bit the star you want him to be. Scoot Henderson had just 6 points, but he had 10 assists and just 4 turnovers, right? So he wasn't scoring, but he was moving the ball and doing what you needed him to do with it. Coach praised him after the game. We'll hear from him in a little bit when we head down to the coach's corner. Delano Banton off the bench, 9 of 19, 23 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Like, what is this guy? This guy is incredible. Like, he was asked, he being Billups post-game, like, do you just start him at this point with how good he plays with everyone? It's like, nah, we found his groove. We found what he's good at. We found where he belongs, and he absolutely does because he's playing so well coming off the bench. It was just like 2 weeks ago he was the closer. You had to play him in the fourth quarter and nothing else. Now you just got to get him on the floor. He's been so dang good. Robert Williams, 14 points, 1 block shot, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Very, very active, though, which you like to see. Denny Avdia had 12 points. Chris Murray had a big 3. And then, let's see. Oh, yeah, 2 of them, excuse me. And Ryan Repair was who I was thinking about, who had just the 1. But again, everyone who came in did what they needed to do, and then late in that game, defense stepped up, and that's what you want. That's absolutely what you want. And when you look at this, how many times have we talked about the third quarters, the team just coming out slow, and you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Not in this one. Like a 17-0 run, like in the NBA, that's hard to do. That's absolutely hard to do. So kudos to the Blazers for going on that run, getting back in the game, and then not stopping. Just continue to go, and chip away, take the lead, and then late in that one, make the right plays. I mean, you look at what happened, right? You had the 3-point foul from Trae, and you're like, oh no, here we go. And then was it Sharpe who went to the line, hits the first one, misses the second, but Toumani Camara gets the rebound. They get it back out. Scoot dribbles around for a little bit. You don't know where it's going. Play clock starts going out, and you're like, oh no, the clock is going to expire. But Shaedon Sharpe hits a step-back 3 as the clock expires, and the crowd goes wild. Like, they made the plays they needed to make, and kudos to them. So that was one of those games. Like, if they lost that game, you kind of liked what you saw, and the young guys doing their thing. So you want join in on the conversation. 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. And, of course, youtube.com. Type in Rip City Radio 620. You can talk to us there as well, where right now Han says Chris Murray's looking good. Super solid D. The shot looks great. Both he and Rupert have improved a lot. And you know what's interesting, Han, is those two guys were so impressive in the preseason. And then in this season, like Chris Murray has played himself into those rotation minutes, and a lot of it does match, how the matchups are going and where you want to play him. But I mean, you look at tonight, and he had a solid 7 minutes. I mean, and he was effective in them. And what I like about that is this was a game where you needed him to play those minutes. And you needed him to play them effectively. And he's not just an end of the bench guy who's just going to rack up DMPs. Like, you put him in when the matchup calls for it, and he's been so good. The shot has absolutely improved a ton. Like, every time he hits that, it's like it's not shocking anymore. You're like, yep, that's who Chris Murray is. And then Ryan Rupert, you want to keep him around because I think he's only going to get better, and he has improved a ton, especially on the defensive side of the ball. He's like a little mini Tamani Kamara out there, which is absolutely fun to see. So have those young guys showing those improvements is great. You absolutely love it. And then there's quite people talking about Scoot. Is Scoot good or bad? Kirk says Scoot's a true point guard. Iron Rod says I hope so. I mean, Scoot's always been best at making plays and distributing the ball. Like even if he had highlights coming into the draft, but he is more of that old school point guard. He doesn't need to score. Now, do you want him to score more than 6 points? Absolutely, you want him to. But I'll go back to what I said pregame and have said a lot is you want Shea to be the best player on this team, and he's really starting to round into form. I mean, 2 straight games of 30 points. Like I don't think those are anomalies. These are the games where you might see the norm. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to see him really round it. And it's interesting because Coach Billups talked about it after the game. Like, again, like he starts slow because he defers a lot. And he needs to start learning that he's a bad mamma jamma, right? Like, he's a bad son of a gun. And when he just flips that switch, he can't be stopped. And so, again, the sooner he realizes, I think, just how good he is, boy howdy, you could be onto something special. And you got a couple guys on the roster like that because I think Donovan Klingen's one too. I think when he realizes how big he is and how good he is, he's going to be great. I mean, there was a shot today, man, where, Trae Young, he's a little guy, but he drove in, and he totally thought he could float it up over DC, and DC said, yeah, no way. That ain't happening. Blocks it. So great to see that the young guys are coming in, playing big. And I think even better to see that the Blazers found a way to win this game because it looked ugly early, and they were able to gut it out and then late kind of take it over. So shout out to the Blazers. And once again, if you want to join the conversation, Chris J. Burkhardt's the name on Twitter. 503-248-0620 is that telephone number. And, of course, YouTube.com. Type in Rip City Radio. You can join the conversation there where, we can keep talking during commercial breaks and everything. It's the power of YouTube, my friend. But we're going to take a quick break here on the 5th quarter. When we come back, it'll be time for our shot of the night and our drive of the night. Going to use the commercial break to coach up my producer. Let him figure this thing out, man. He's killing it back there. Let me tell you what, Brendan. Just be like DB. Ready for the moment. Next man up. Trust yourself. You're good at this, I promise. Chris Burkhardt here with you. Brendan Slaughter's in the back. We'll bring him on a little bit to get his thoughts on the game. But the 5th quarter rolls on after the break right here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. Let's see, YouTube. How are we looking over here? My objective lens, I'm taking Klingen, man. That's a good question. I think Klingen is good. I thought he was good going into the draft, and I think he has the ability to be a game changer on the defensive side of the ball, and I think you're already seeing that. I don't ever think he's going to be a scoring big, right? Definitely not. Like maybe he gets to the point where averaging 15. Hold on. Me, yes. They didn't hear you though, unfortunately. There.
I mean, their body styles and games are a little bit different, obviously.
See, Brendan, you're not used to me. What I'm doing here, and now you're up, so they can hear you. I was talking to YouTube during the commercial break because we have the power, baby. They can hear you laugh.
These are things you have to fill me in on.
I turned you up so they can hear you too now. Whoa, is my camera?
Fair.
Camera's going crazy.
Okay. Okay. I like it. I like it.
There we go.
Yeah, we got one phone caller about 2 minutes back.
Sounds good. All right, back to the YouTube chat. Yeah. What happens to Aiton now? He continues to sit. He's hurt. We'll see what they do. They're gonna have to move him eventually, right? I don't know. I don't know what the plan is long term, but the center rotation of Kling and Rob is nice. I like that. I like that, and I also like go back to like the Nurk Cantor rotation. Like that was a fun rotation, and then unfortunately when Nurk got hurt and you put Cantor in there, a reason you were able to get to the Western Conference Finals and just kind of cruise through and didn't skip a beat is because they played so similarly, right? In that pick and roll style, they were both very effective in that. And I hope that you can get that same out of Rob and Klingon because they both play similar. Aiton plays so different than those two. And so what I like about the two defensive lumbering bigs, granted Robert's not lumbering, he's so much more athletic than Klingon, but they both play hard picks, roll hard, like to get above the rim when they can, especially Rob, and then defensively love to play at the rim. So I like that they match each other a little bit better. But again, we'll see where the rotations go in the long run. Here, I'm going to bounce off of the YouTube chat, though, because we'll be back on radio in a second. Fix my camera while we're at it and have some fun. Continue to talk about this impressive Blazer victory. YouTube, you guys are awesome. DB Hooper with your drive of the night, and man, that is such a cool nickname. Cool nickname. He did take a 3-point shot today from the arc though. Like every 3-point shot comes from the arc. You idiot. From the logo, right? It was deep, and I tweeted out that he took that shot from somewhere out over the Columbia River. I think it only got one like. I got dad.
Oh, I love that one, Chris. That's solid, man.
Thank you. Brendan gets it, but
those PNWs, you gotta respect that
yeah.
one, man.
You know what? I'm starting to question paying for that blue check mark. I'm not seeing any increase in my engagement. It was all a lie. I was like, that tweet is way too good to only get one like. Guys, help me out. I thought that was well played. But no, the DB Hooper nickname. Absolute money. All right, if you want to get in on the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. See a couple of you waiting. I'll get to you in just a second. Of course, YouTube.com is another way. Type in Rip City Radio. We'll pop right up. And again, the chat's going on there. People are loving Donovan Klingon, and I totally get it, man. As Tommy says, Klingon is a monster on D. Give him a couple years to develop a jump hook and get a little bit more explosive. He'll be scary, and that's the thing. Like he's gonna be good. He's going to be real good. Like I like him. I think he's a game changer on the defensive side of the ball. Think about like trying to think. I know Portland kind of had him like late, but like Theo Ratliff, right? Like Theo Ratliff was a really good defensive center. And like yeah, he'd go score, but he was never going to like blow the doors off. He'd have nights, right? But like it wasn't like his main thing. And I loved when they had him here because, again, defensively, he was just a juggernaut. But, yeah, like the most he ever averaged in a season, Theo Ratliff, was 12.4 points. But he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons where he averaged 3 or more blocks, maybe 9. Like that's incredible. And I think like Klingon is that type where, again, I don't think he's going to score a ton, but I definitely think he's gonna block shots and have a heyday on the defensive side of the ball. Now, again, I think he's going to average more than 11 points in the long run, unlike Theo. But you look at like the 76ers teams with what Tyrone Hill and Aaron McKee, and then obviously Allen Iverson, and Ratliff was a huge part of those, and he was a defensive anchor. I think you also look at a guy that I know Blazer fans love, right? But Marcus Camby, most he ever averaged in a season, 12.8. Had a handful of seasons where he averaged double digits, but it was the block shots. 3.7 in his second year. And you look again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons at 3 blocks or more, and then of course the rebound numbers were in the double digits during that prime run. And I think those are the type of players that Klingon's going to be more in line with. Now, if he develops that offensive side and really does excel there, even better, baby. Right? You ain't going to be upset. But there was guys who made their absolute calling as just being glass cleaners and defensive stoppers, and I think that's where he's at. Like you look at like Zach Edey, right? Like Zach Edey's good too, cleans the glass well. He's a better offensive center than Klingon, but in the long run, Klingon's going to find ways to put him to bed because defensively he's good. He's good. Like I think Robert Williams is the best defensive center on the team right now because of his ability to move around. But Klingon's going to get there. When he gets rid of that baby fat and starts putting on that NBA muscle, he gets like look at how many players come in like the second year, right? When they had the true full off season with the team and they put on some muscle and if he does that, he's going to be scary. He's going to be scary. As Han says, he's already really good at the pick and roll. He's already more than just someone cleaning up a glass. Like he's a real threat as a roll man. And I agree. And again, I go back to what I said about him and Robert playing such a similar game as where Ayton does that pick and he rolls softer because he likes to hit that 15-foot jump shot. And for some reason, as athletic as he is, doesn't like to play above the rim a ton. Klingon can if he gets, again, just a little bit more explosive, a little more muscle on him, and play a little more like Robert Williams. But they both roll hard. That's what I loved about Robert Williams. He rolls to the rim with authority. And Klingon can get there, too, and start pushing people out of his way. All right, you want to join the conversation again? That telephone number, 503-248-0620, where we head out to North Portland, where Bryce has been waiting patiently. Bryce, welcome into the fifth quarter.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. What do you got for us tonight?
I'm just, I want to pile on to the Delano Banton bandwagon. Came out of nowhere. I mean, ever since he put up 20 against the Pelicans, even I saw it in person, the nightmare of a game against Memphis, but he was still hustling, like so much so that he avoided Chauncey's sharp tongue in that presser.
It's true.
And there was a certain point in the game around 4:30 where he was leading the box score. Like I don't know if he's going to be as hot being a starter, but I mean, if they want to start Banton, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're laying down because he's been fun, and I have been the first to say, Bryce, like, hey, like, I know Blazer fans fell in love with him last year. I was like, you got to just pump the brakes just a little bit because I mean, there's a reason he's on his third team in 3 years when he got here last year, and he was putting up big numbers against teams that were just rolling out their injury-riddled lineups too. But I'll be the first whenever these things happen to eat crow and admit you're wrong sometimes because it's fun. I'm never going to be upset if I'm wrong and it leads to good basketball, right? And Delano Banton has done that. What he's done is he has gone from that guy because I don't think we were wrong in year one when we're like, be careful, he's on his third team in 3 years, right? But now the opportunity's coming up, and I think the biggest thing, Bryce, is that he has found his role. I don't think there's any more of him questioning where he belongs in the rotation. He has found the role. I think Coach Billups does deserve a lot of credit in catering to that and letting him play it. But he has become one of the most energetic and just guys who just gets you out of your seat players on this roster, and I'm all here for it, man.
Hey, he might talk me into buying a jersey as expensive as they are. I'm like, I'll get it. I'll do a number 5 jersey because I mean, like he's just cooking. It's like maybe like when Russell Westbrook found a good place on the bench and everybody's like, well, it's not going to work. But I mean, yeah, no, have it work and then punch it up and then watch these young players develop around him.
Yeah, hey, if you're gonna buy a jersey, there ain't nothing wrong with a number 5 Delano Banton. I feel like if you're rocking a Banton jersey, you're definitely showing that you're not like a bandwagon Blazer fan. Like you're a through and through pinwheel maniac over there, man. I like it. I think you should do it.
Hey, you only need to win 5 of 7 to get the ring, so maybe it's a thing.
All right, Bryce. Appreciate the call. Always welcome back here on the 5th quarter. But yeah, I can't tell you the last time I bought a jersey. But to be fair, I mean I've been covering the team for a decade now, and I've told you guys here on the show like I am going to be an unbiased journalist, as objective as possible. Right, but you can't take away the fact that I'm born and bred in Rip City. That I grew up watching those '90s teams. That's why my favorite player of all time to this day is Rasheed Wallace. Right, and I remember Jermaine O'Neal came to my school and I was in 5th grade. Right, that was just pretty cool. And like I'm a Blazer fan at the end of the day. Like that's fun. And so yeah, guys like Delano Banton, those are the type of guys that just get you going. They get you excited. And he gets out on the floor and just takes the opportunity. And the thing is, he plays reckless at times, but it's a fun reckless. He's very much chaotic. Like he is chaos on the court. Like because I mean, the other day he had put up 19 shots. What did he get tonight? Tonight he had 19 of them. And the other day he had 20. Like he just comes in and he's just loose with it, man. But that's the thing, is it's allowed him to find his role and play within that and be good at it. Because how many players do you look at who have perhaps more talent than a Delano Banton, but you sit there and you go, oh, man, I just wish he played loose. I just wish he played loose. Delano Banton doesn't have that problem. DB plays loose, and it leads to great games. Again, tonight, 9 of 19 from the floor, 23 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. I love him. I like the way he plays right now. He's great. Iron Rod says, I have a lot of jerseys of retired or traded Blazers. That's cool. I mean, the 2 jerseys that I own are a Roy jersey and an Odin jersey. So maybe I should stop. It's a good thing that I stopped buying jerseys because apparently I only buy jerseys of guys who then go get hurt and their careers end because of it. So probably good that I stopped buying jerseys for the longest time there. So yeah, there you go. but yeah, I think if Delano Banton jersey is a good one. I also think, as Ryan Rod says, no Kamara love. Everyone loves Tamani Kamara. Rod, everyone loves Tamani Kamara. If you're rocking a Tamani Kamara jersey too, that's a good pull. Kirk also says Chris Banton is a hairband guy name. Oh my gosh, Chris Banton is Chris Banton is a guitar player, a lead singer of like a Soundgarden back in the 90s. That's what that sounds like. All right, let's head back out to the phone lines where Christina has been waiting. We haven't heard from Christina in a long time. Hey, Christina, how you doing?
Hey, Burkhardt. That was a good game tonight.
Yes, it was. It was awesome. The way they came back and won.
I like Chris Murray.
That's a good player to like, man. He's young and he's still getting better.
I like Delano Banton. Hey, I want to make a bet with you if you 49er play my Broncos, you have to buy me 2 Chris Murray jerseys.
I'm not making that bet with you because I don't trust my 49ers. I saw what they did today in Seattle. I've also told you I'm not the betting type. I like to keep my money in my wallet, Christina. If I don't make bets, I'm 100% guaranteed to not lose them.
Hey, could you help me out with a gift card to the butcher shop your dad owns?
You want a gift card to the meat shop?
Yes.
I'll see what I can do, Christina. I'm gonna have to pull some strings, but if I can take care of you, I will. I'm not betting my money to buy you a Chris Murray jersey though. That's just not gonna happen. That's just not gonna happen. Like I said, if you don't make bets, you have a 100% chance of not losing money. It's just a smart financial move on my part. Okay. Also, I'm not in Vegas. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on the fifth quarter. When we come back, we're going to head down to the coach's corner, hear what Coach Billups had to say following this victory over the Atlanta Hawks. And, of course, if you want to get in on the conversation, go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, or dial 503-248-0620 to get on the phone. You guys are awesome. Don't go anywhere, though. Plenty of more coming up on the fifth quarter right here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. All right, we got a little bit of a break here. Let's get back on YouTube. Treat you guys well for staying with me here on the chat. Kirk says, "Oh, bless Christina." Like I said, she's awesome, but she always trying to make me make bets. Can't be losing money. I got mouths to feed. My girls at home, they'll be mad at me if I ain't bringing that's she's trying to dip into my goldfish cracker money, man. Can't be doing that. I can't be doing that. Old Soul says too good to tank. I mean, when they're fully healthy, it's scary, ain't it? Like that's where this team is crazy to me. Like they're playing good all of a sudden, and I mean I don't think that's like even if all firing all cylinders, like I don't think they're a playoff team, but I don't know. I don't care. They're fun right now. They're fun right now. Is Banton getting the game ball or Sharp? You'll find out. I'll find out after this. We'll let you know. We'll let you know. What else we got? Ryan Rod says he's gonna get a Klingon jersey. Not sure he's gonna get a scoot one yet. That's fair. You know what? I kind of wish Scoot would change his number. This is my own. Okay, I get it. There's the two O's in Scoot, but like you got the double O because why? Because there's two O's in Scoot. Well, Lillard wore the letter O. Didn't wear 0. He wore the letter O. And it's like I just feel like that's weird. I don't like that. It just gets me. It's my little hang up. I don't know what it is. Like change your number to change it something else. You can't. If you traded the guy who wore the letter O, we can't have a guy who wears two letter O's now. That's just weird. It's just I don't like it. That's my random take, my little tinfoil hat take today. I don't know. What else you guys got for me? Pop off in the YouTube chat. Sounds good. All right, we're going to be back to radio in a sec, so I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back. Yeah.
thought our second group came in and just picked us up, man. They picked us up. They were amazing the entire time, and got us back in the game, and then I started kind of sprinkling in starters with some of those guys, keeping a few of them out there because we needed them. We needed their energy. I thought they all were really good, really. I mean, Delano was really good. Denny was really good. Rob, obviously. Chris Murray hit 2 huge threes, So I was really happy for all of them. And then, obviously, Shea, was amazing again in the game and brought us home.
Can you talk about what Delano provided tonight, particularly when you guys did start slow?
Yeah, Delano, he comes into the games and he always has the same mindset. He's coming to make a difference. We needed his playmaking. We needed somebody that could get to the basket, get to the rim, and make a play, and make not only for himself but for everybody. We struggled at that. We knew that team was going to really pressure the heck out of us. That's the way that they play, and similar to how we play. And I thought it impacted us early. I really did. And then Delano came in and kind of calmed the waters for us, along with the rest of that group.
He was huge in that third quarter when you guys dominated, and then he came out and you guys kind of faltered, and Atlanta got control a little bit, and then Delano comes back in. Is it almost to the point where maybe he just could start until Ant comes back, or is that he's just better coming off the bench, where he should start until Ant comes back, or is it just better for him coming off the bench?
No, I think I got Delano in the right spot. Just coming off the bench, we need what he brings to the game. Delano's a really good player, and he's done his job. He's done a really good job. But even Scoot out there, he got off to a tough start, but man, to have those 10 assists and turned it over in some tough spots, but man, he made some huge plays for us. He really did. But I wanted to, keep bringing both of those guys in and out based on kind of how they were playing, and we just needed it. But Delano was certainly capable of that. If I put him in the starting lineup, I would feel perfectly fine, But I think I got him in the perfect spot.
The last couple of games, Shaden was kind of all over the place in the first half and then basically lights out in the second half. Why do you think it is that it takes him a little bit to get going in some of these games?
I think Shaden, he defers a lot, to a lot of the veterans and a lot of the guys. He just defers, and I'm trying to get him out of that, and tell him just do what you think is best, go take it over. If you can take it over, take it over. And I shouldn't have to force you to take it over. But he's young. He's a young kid. He's a young player. He's just happy to be back playing this season, But he's doing amazing. And I think the more that he plays,
All right, about halfway done with the Chauncey interview.
The rest of the guys on the team will start forcing him to, stay aggressive as well. Because obviously we need it.
With Shaden, is it just consistency at this point, or maybe even attack mindset, or is there other things you're looking for him to maybe develop the season? Or that's
there's a lot of things that he can develop, and get better at, along with everybody. He's a young player, but I would just want him to have a consistent attacking mentality all game, and he'll learn when to kind of turn it on and when to kind of facilitate as the thing goes on. But that's all a part of his maturation, and his youth and just kind of learning that. I mean, you look at what he's able to do over the last couple of games against some of the league's best defenders. Dyson Daniels, we talked about how incredible he's been defensively, and Shaden comes and has a really good game against him. And then a couple games ago, it's McDaniels and DiVincenzo, and these are some of the best that we have to offer, So he's stepping up to the challenge, and I'm proud of him.
He made some key shots, obviously, but he had a couple steals, and Grant had a block. And you talked before about how fun it is to win games like that with defense. Was this similar?
It is. It is, and I just think there's so much beauty in winning ugly games. There's so much character that comes with that. It's kind of easy in the game to win games now when you make 20-some threes and whatever. But when you have to get it the hard way, it's tough. This guy gets a block, this guy gets a steal, somebody gets 2 threes that usually don't make, that usually are not in the game at that point of the game. so many great things happen, and then we had no timeouts, the last few minutes of the game, so we really had to manufacture all of that, and I'm proud of our guys for just hanging in and sticking with that.
What did you see from Tamani's defense on that last play against Trae Young?
I thought it was amazing defense. He understood.
All right, 30 seconds back.
Playing him one-on-one, no help, nowhere, and I thought he did a really good job of not letting him get to that step back. You've seen he set him up for it. Trae Young is as hard a player to guard in the league, and two, had him all night. We did a lot of changing defenses on him, but I thought Tumani read the play perfect. He set him up. He was physical early in the play, not letting him get downhill, and he was right there.
3, 2, 1.
And there you hear from Coach Billups following the victory over the Hawks. And, yeah, it was a good game. And, again, he talked about Delano Banton again, just figuring out where he is, finding that groove, and he's sticking to it. And it's led to some really good play from him and Tumani Kamara's defense. Like, they're starting to click a little bit. And, again, maybe it took that loss against Memphis to get here. And, it's never, like, what you want. You don't want to have to take those losses and see those games, but sometimes you come out better for going through that, and that's where they're at right now. You want to join in on the conversation? 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. You can also go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio 620, where the chat's popping off about trades and the love and not love for Anthony Simons and, I don't know, the longing for GP2. That's weird. Like, I don't know what's going on. So, oh my gosh, Hey, Brendan, pop in.
What's up?
How young are you? You are
28 years young.
Okay, that's fair. Marcus Lake says even the producer is a baby blazer around here.
Ooh, man, I kind of take a little offense to that. Like I said, Chris, I got the Beanie Babies, man, from back in the early 2000s. Detlef Schrempf,
doesn't matter.
Derek Anderson. I consider myself to be an OG Blazer fan for my age, brother.
No. He didn't call you as in like you're not an OG. It's just I refer to this team as the Baby Blazers because they're all youngins. So you're getting lumped in the. Yeah,
it's true.
You get to keep the baby mark until like at least your age starts with a 3. Okay, like you.
Okay, fair enough. Well, hey, it's creeping up, man. It's creeping up. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Now on the YouTube chat, people are talking about Jeremy Grant. Interestingly enough, Timmy is mad that I'm not wearing a Metallica shirt. That's fair. That's a good reason to be mad right there. I think that's okay to be mad. I left my Metallica shirts at home today. I like to come up with a little bit more professionalism. I don't know if covering the team rocking an Injustice for All T-shirt is the most professional. It makes you feel good. That's for sure, and it should be. It should be, but maybe I'll find a way. Hey, get like a Metallica polo. Look at all these guys. Now everyone's popping off their age. Marcus is 49. Iron Rod's 54, almost 55. So we got a birthday coming up. There you go. I love it. So you guys been around. That's all good. And you know what? It's I think it's fair to have Brendan be our little baby Blazer producer. Sometimes I'm the baby.
I'll wear the crown.
I look like Ryan Day if I don't have a Metallica shirt. That's terrible. That is awful. But no, anyway, they're chiming in talking about Jeremy Grant, and it's interesting because I think Iron Rods was the one who said it. Grant is a big reason that we've won these games lately. And it's so true. Like, that cannot be overlooked how good he's been. And post Memphis, part of me thinks he may have been one of the players who was called out. And as Robert Williams talked about the elephant in the room, maybe that was one of them because the defense he's played these last 3 games has been incredible. Like, his defense has been night and day. So if he can continue to play like that, that's a guy that I can say, yeah, I want around. But at the same time, he's going to garner interest. And so you got to do what's best for the team. And if that is get some of those guys out so you can open the pathway for development, that's what you got to do. So what the future holds for Grant and Ayton and Ant and all that, I don't know. I do think the writing might be on the wall for some of them as this team continues to build around its young core. Like I said, there is a reason that the Blazers are releasing the pint glasses again and Shea, Scoot, and Klingon are on him, right? And not Grant and Ayton. And that's no disrespect to them. It's just the team is just obviously trying to get some of these young guys in the forefront of your thought processes, right? Because those are the guys they want to build around in the long term. Also, that's where their draft investment was over the last 3 years, and they want those guys to hit. So it absolutely makes sense. All right, we're going to take our final break here on the show. When we come back, we're going to hit you with our game ball. I'm going to tell you who I think was the MVP of the game. Might have been Dylan Gabriel, who was at the game today. Go Ducks. Undefeated. 11-0 for the first time since 2010. My last year in the Oregon Marching Band. It was a good year. Yes, Brendan. It is a good feeling, my friend. Sorry, he's a Beaver reporter and a Beaver fan, and it's been a rough year for the Beavers. I won't try to rub it in though, Brendan. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with plenty more here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. Welcome back into the fifth quarter. Chris Burkhardt here with you. Time now for our game balls. And game ball in this one goes out to Shaden Sharp. Another night of 30 or more points, its second night in a row, including the last 11 points for your Portland Trailblazers as part of that comeback there. So big night for him. So nice to see him getting going, right? And kind of feeling it and understanding that he's a scorer and he's pretty darn good at it. Good on him. Good on him. I like that. All right, if you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 or youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio. We'll pop right up. People are talking about Timmy wants Travis Demers to suit up, need him to get out there and play. Poor no, because if Travis did that, he'd be on the injured list. His back wouldn't take a quarter. And then you just be right back to the injury problems. So, sorry, Trav. Can't come out and play. I would be, too. I'd be busted. I'd be broke. Getting too old for this. That's why you got baby Blazers like Brendan. He could go get a pickup run in. Pretty sure. He doesn't
I don't know, man. That might be ugly. I was always more of a flag football guy.
Flag football? All right. That's fair enough. Brendan brought up a good point, though, during the commercial break. He asked me, he's like, you've been covering the team forever. Have you ever seen Paul Allen's apartment inside Moda Center? I said, nope. See, I've seen it from the bowl. I've never been up to it. I've heard about it. I've heard stories.
It's trade secrets. Trade secrets, man. I've always clamored to see someone who's like, oh yeah, no, I watched a game up there once. But seems like that didn't or doesn't happen, Chris. So the legend will grow.
Also, Timmy chimes in, justice for Peanut the squirrel.
Touche.
Like, okay. Peanut the squirrel. Like that is this decade's or this generation's Harambe. It's totally.
That's so true. Oh gosh, there's a poll I didn't think I'd hear tonight, Chris. Attaboy, man.
Harambe. Like that is so true. So yes, justice for Peanut the squirrel. But yeah, Brendan asks, he's like, why, they could make a mint if they Airbnb'd that. You know how many Blazers? There would be a waiting list. I think
you could stack. You could stack like stupid cash, Chris.
Oh my gosh!
Like $2,000. Like imagine this. Say like double what you're charging for like courtside seats. Maybe triple. Someone pay that.
that or you like Disney. Disney. They got the room in the castle at Disney World.
Yes.
Right? So that's
What about you, Chris? You got a couple daughters. You making that happen anytime soon?
No,
you guys can go stay in the castle.
That's invite only, my friend. And I am not Justin Bieber, and I believe he's one of the few who's got an invite. I'm not getting like if I can't see Paul Allen's apartment, you think I can see the room inside Cinderella's castle in the happiest place on earth? It ain't gonna happen. Hey man,
dad energy is undefeated, Chris. You never know. I would never discount what a motivated dad can do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go viral with a do you know who I am, and then it's gonna be all over. I can't be doing that. So, you know what, Brendan? I think it's time to wrap up the show. So you can hit the outro music because we peaked at Harambe. Like we're not gonna get any better than that.
No, man, that's classic. Blazers won, man. Shaden Sharp cooks again. Some positivity, man. I'm stoked about what's ahead.
Yep, absolutely. Let's take a look though at this Blazer schedule before you leave, so everyone knows what is coming up. Because man, the Blazers, they get to go on the road now. They get OKC, then they get 2 against the Rockets. And it's going to be interesting. So Wednesday, 5 p.m. tip on the road against OKC. I'll have your pregame show, Blazers game day at 3 o'clock. And then Friday, I will be out because unfortunately got some OSA championships going. And Brendan, you will be filling in that day, right?
Yes, I'm very excited, man. It's gonna be fun to switch roles, be on the other side of the mic, man. I'm excited.
That's right. He'll be there Monday. On Saturday, Chad will be back in this seat because I'll still be doing football nonsense, and I'll be back with you guys Monday. So I appreciate everyone filling in. We got a fun little team here. And once again, Blazers pick up the 114-110 victory over the Atlanta Hawks behind a stellar performance from Shaden Sharp and a stellar performance from Delano Banton. And I'm glad that the players that played tonight put together the team, because the YouTube chat's going off the rails. They want Chad on the court. They want Dwight at power forward. They want Travis in there. I'm a little upset, though, Brendan, because none of them said they wanted me to play. Like, they'll come listen to my show, but none of them wanted me to play.
I mean, I'd have you in my starting five, Chris. I'm perfectly okay with being the Eric Spoelstra video coordinator on staff. So as long as we can get that for me, I like the pathway with that.
All right, sounds good. That's going to do it for us here, though, on the fifth quarter. Once again, Blazers 114, Hawks 110. 3-game winning streak for your Blazers, and they hit the road next week. Going to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder on Wednesday. 5 o'clock tip. Game day starts at 3 right here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620.